Once upon a time in the 1930s, the world was restless. Germany, a land that had been defeated in the First Big War, felt humiliated and poor. Then came a man named Adolf Hitler. He promised his people, "I will make Germany great again." The people, tired of suffering, followed him. But Hitler was greedy. He wanted more land and more power. First he took Austria, then he marched into Czechoslovakia, and finally, on the 1st of September 1939, his armies thundered into Poland. The world gasped. Britain and France said, "Enough! We cannot let this happen." And thus, the Second World War began. Hitler's army was fast like lightning. People called it blitzkrieg. France fell. Only Britain stood tall, with Prime Minister Winston Churchill saying, "We will never surrender." The skies over London roared with German bombs, but the British refused to bow. Far away in Asia, Japan was rising too. They dreamed of ruling the Pacific. On a quiet Sunday morning in 1941, they attacked Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, waking the giant, the United States of America. Now the war stretched across Europe, Africa, and Asia. At first it seemed Hitler might win. But then, in the freezing city of Stalingrad in Russia, his army met its match. The Russians fought street by street, and finally the German army broke. In the Pacific, the Americans defeated Japan at the Battle of Midway. Slowly, the tide began to turn. On the 6th of June 1944, the Allies landed in France on a day called D-Day. Thousands of ships, planes, and soldiers stormed the beaches of Normandy. It was the beginning of the end for Hitler. By April 1945, the Soviet army reached Berlin. Hitler, trapped and hopeless, took his own life. A week later, Germany surrendered. Bells rang across Europe. It was Victory in Europe VE Day. But in Asia, Japan still fought. To end the war quickly, the United States dropped 2 powerful bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The world had never seen such destruction. Japan surrendered on the 2nd of September 1945. The long, dark war was finally over. The world was scarred, but also wiser. From the ruins, leaders created the United Nations, hoping to bring peace. New nations rose, old empires faded, and 2 great powers, the USA and the Soviet Union, began a new rivalry called the Cold War. But for millions who had suffered, the only thing that mattered was that the guns were silent and peace had returned. And that, my friend, is the story of World War II, a story of greed, courage, suffering, and finally hope.